السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. حياكم الله وبياكم. اللهم بارك. الحمد لله، أنا قد تخرجت من المعهد الأندلس، الحمد لله ثم الحمد لله. فأنا سبحان الله كنت أتحدث في الحقيقة بالعامية. نعم، فأنا أصلي من فلسطين والأردن، أمي من فلسطين وأبي من الأردن، لكن سبحان الله ترعرعت بأمريكا، وهنا لا نتحدث بالعربية كثيرا، ولكن الحمد لله في البيت كنت أتحدث أحيانا مع أمي. ولكن كان هناك فترة لما كنت في الثانوية أو الثانوي، ففي الثانوي سبحان الله لم أظن، الله أعلم، لم أتحدث في هذه الفترة سبحان الله ولا كلمة لا كلمة. نعم، فهذا تأثر بي كثيرا ونسيت اللغة حقيقة. نعم، فلما دخلت الجامعة كنت لا أستطيع أن أتحدث حتى بالعامية ولا جملة حتى. يعني سبحان الله كان الله المستعان، كان صعب حقيقة، أو كان صعبا. فالمهم بعد ذلك بدأت أن أمارس بالعامية، وفعلت هكذا لأظن سنتين، وحتى ذهبت إلى الأردن 5 أشهر، والحمد لله أصبحت أحسن بالعامية، ولو لم أكن متقنا يعني حتى باللهجة، لكن الحمد لله بفضل الله كنت أتحدث، كنت أفهم وهكذا. ولكن مثل ما قلت كان مستواي، يعني لا نقول أنني كنت متقدما أنا لا أظن كنت متقدما، يعني الحمد لله نعم كنت أتحدث وهكذا، لكن كنت في البداية نقول. نعم، فمستواي نعم كنت أتحدث بالعامية، ولكن في القراءة، في النحو والصرف والعلوم العربية لم أعرف شيئا حقيقة. يعني أنا نسيت كل شيء. أنا في الصغر الحمد لله ذهبت إلى أو مدرسة مسلمة نقول، والحمد لله تعلمت قليلا من العربية هناك، لكن سبحان الله يعني مع الكبر إذا لم تراجع بالتأكيد ستنسى، فأنا نسيت نعم. ولكن الحمد لله يعني كان مستواي بالعامية نقول جيد. نعم، جيد. والآن سبحان الله أقول لكم شيء أو شيئا. كان هناك أستاذ في الأندلس أو في المعهد الأندلس، وهو اسمه أستاذ عيسى. فهذا الأستاذ الآن يبدو أنه قد ترك المعهد، لكن أعجبني اللهم بارك علمه وأسلوبه. نعم، فبعدما انتهيت من المعهد ذهبت إليه وقلت له أريد أن أتعلم تحت يدك. نعم، يعني العلوم الشرعية. نعم، فهو قال نعم لا بأس إن شاء الله. فالآن أنا في رمضان كل يوم أذهب إليه، أو هو عن بعد، يعني لا أذهب إليه حقيقة نعم، هو عن بعد، يعني هو يشارك شاشته وهكذا. فالآن أنا أتعلم معه الحمد لله، ونقرأ التفاسير أو تفسير الآن، تفسير مختصر، وأيضا نقرأ الأحاديث وأقوال العلماء. وسبحان الله يعني نفعل الذي أردت أن أفعله قبل نقول سنتين، أو حتى يمكن سنة ونصف. أظن أخذني سنة وقليلا من الأشهر بعد ذلك لكي يتخرج من المعهد، لكن الحمد لله بفضل الله. والآن أفعل الذي أردت أن أفعل، إذا هذا مفهوم، أو الشاشة قد طفى. أوكي، نعم. فالحمد لله الآن أستطيع أن أقرأ ولو لم أكن متقنا وسريعا في القراءة، ولكن الحمد لله أحسن. كنت لا أستطيع أن أقرأ بدون حركات قبل المعهد. فالحمد لله هذا المستوى أنا راضي، نقول الحمد لله بفضل الله، وعلي أن أتطور بالتحدث بالقواعد، بالقراءة، بالاستيعاب، لكن بشكل عام الحمد لله. ونعم مثل ما قلت أظن أخذني سنة وقليلا أن أتم الدورة أو المعهد. نعم، الله أعلم. لا أعرف دقيقة، لكن الله أعلم. نعم. Okay, so I think we're done with Arabic for now. But anyways, so what the hardest moment before joining this program, so subhanAllah, I remember this vividly. So before joining the program, me and my friend, we entered into AMAU, and in AMAU, we were learning, alhamdulillah, about the deen and whatnot. It was very exciting and whatnot, but I realized a roadblock that when you don't know Arabic, you really can't seek knowledge. Yeah, this might be a hard one for some people to hear, but you really can't, because you're hearing all these ahadith where you're not understanding, and then you hear the translation, but then you actually go to the dictionary and you actually search up what the words mean, and you realize, wait, that's a faulty translation, and you just end up understanding the deen wrong. You just literally you you can't seek knowledge without Arabic. Like, I'm sorry, but you really can't. So it was kind of hard for me to accept, right? Because I knew Ammiya a bit. So Alhamdulillah, I was understanding, but I realized that was not sufficient. There were some words in our dialect that we might use those same words that the Ahadith are using, right? The Rasul Sallallahu Alaihi Wasallam and the Sahaba used, but the meaning's different, right? Or we just don't use it in a certain meaning. Like, for example, basilt, right? So we use this just to mean like simple, yasir, right? But in the Quran, when basit is used, it means wasa, like, spread out, to something like that, spread out, right? So just completely misunderstanding. Like, I used to think like basit, in Surah Al-Kahf, the dog, basitun ذراعيه بالوسيط, وسيط. Now, so basit, right here we have the fa'al, right? And I used to think that basil means like, simple. So I thought it was like a cute dog or something. So it doesn't work. It doesn't work without Arabic. So I would say the hardest moment was transitioning from seeking knowledge to learning Arabic, because back then I used to see it as like, oh man, I'm gonna miss out on learning about the deen and whatnot. But fun fact, when you learn Arabic, you actually learn a lot more about the deen, which was surprising. SubhanAllah, I was learning so much more about the deen, in although it might not be in the same volume, if that makes sense, but the quality of what I was learning was so high. Like, when things connect in your brain, subhanallah, it's just enlightening. Like, I really can't explain it. You just have to go through it. So yeah, learn how to be right now, man. But anyways, quick promo. Yeah, well, they did not ask me to do that, by the way. So don't go up to them and be like, yo, how much you pay him? Anyways, yeah, so to be honest, that was the hardest moment for me. It was, transitioning between, or telling myself like, okay, I need to learn Arabic, humble myself. And alhamdulillah, my friend also, he agreed, and he actually did the initiative along Barik, and I kind of just followed him because I was already on board, at least deep down. And so, describe the moment inside the program where something clicked or started to shift. Subhanallah, I remember this so vividly. Again, another vivid moment. When I first started learning the grammar, in the beginning, like when you're learning grammar, nobody likes it, right? Or I don't know, if you like it, kind of weird, but it's okay. It can be weird. But anyways, yeah, I was just learning the grammar. You're trying to learn Arabic, so you learn the grammar. But I remember one day I was reading the Quran, and I realized that I knew all the i'rab for a sentence in the Quran, and I was just like, wow. I was like, man, this is crazy. Like, I actually knew why this is mansub, majroor, etc. Right? I was like, subhanallah. This is powerful as well. Another enlightening moment. Alone Barik. For to be honest, like that's one of the craziest moments for me. Just because back then we memorized the Quran and have no idea why it's a fatha, why this is a dhamma here, why it's a kasra, why did Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala say this and not that. Of course, I mean some things like we're not going to know everything, but yeah, I hope you get the idea. And being able to really break down a sentence like that, like look at it and be like, wait, or even in salah, like in salah, you make a mistake and you realize there's a mistake in the Arab and you're able to fix it just based off of your Arabic knowledge. SubhanAllah, it makes hifd easier, just makes everything easier. Even reading the Quran, SubhanAllah, it's just a beautiful experience. So for me personally, that was a big one because, of course, Alhamdulillah, I used to speak a bit of Amiyah. So in terms of speaking, I was already kind of speaking. Not Fusha, guys, by the way. In Fusha, I was not able to even make a sentence, right? I learned just from the people around me when it came to the dialect. I really could not make a sentence. Like maybe I could say like "dahaba talib" or something, you know. But in terms of like actually speaking Fusha, no way. I was not able. I wasn't even able to like imitate it. So uh, yeah, I mean, definitely speaking Arabic, of course, was another big one for me. But inshallah khair. So yeah, now alhamdulillah, I'm able to speak in Arabic, even though I'm not. I still need to practice a lot. But I can, alhamdulillah, like I'm at a stage where I can actually go speak for myself in Fusha, right? Like if I really wanted to like go on the market and speak just in Fusha, alhamdulillah, I can. Maybe like I'll make some mistakes here and there, but generally speaking, alhamdulillah, like I can speak, alhamdulillah. I'm able to have a dars with those that fully in Arabic. Maybe like in English, maybe if it's like an animal or something, just to make it easier, he might say it in English, just so we don't have to like pull up the picture or something. But you guys get the idea, yeah. Alhamdulillah, I'm able to read, understand. I'm able to ask questions in Arabic. I'm able to get answers in Arabic and not need English. Alhamdulillah, it's beautiful. Like yeah, it's so beautiful to the point where nowadays I'm actually starting to forget English a bit. Almost just because I be speaking only in Arabic. Alhamdulillah, with my family it's Amiya, and with Ustad it's in Fusha. And to be honest, yeah, I don't really speak that much English, subhanAllah. But anyways, yeah, so Alhamdulillah, now I'm able to read without harakat. This is a big one for me. Without harakat, I was not able to do this before. Or at least if I tried to, I would take an hour to read a sentence, and a lot of times I wouldn't even understand it. So I was definitely not able to read like that fluently. Even like right now, I'm still getting there. I'm not the best at reading, but Alhamdulillah, I'm able to read sometimes faster than others. It really depends if I know the words or not. But alhamdulillah, if I don't know the words, I can just go to the dictionary and read it in Arabic and understand this problem. And if I don't, I can go read the other words that'll define the word I didn't understand, and then I'll figure it out, inshallah. So it's beautiful, alhamdulillah. So now I feel like, I don't know, a superhero or something, I guess. But anyways, the thing is, subhanAllah, sometimes we forget where we're at and we might become ungrateful. Like, it's very easy for me right now, even to say, and this is me being very real, especially for those looking to learn Arabic. You'd think that once you get to, Allah Barik, my stage, guys say Allah Barik, you think like, oh, he's made it or something like that. Like, khalas, this guy needs to go to Medina or something. Okay. But subhanAllah, if you don't remind yourself of the ni'am, this ni'mah that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has bestowed upon you to learn the language of Rasul sallallahu alaihi wasallam, the Quran, you can honestly like start to forget where you're at and not appreciate it, and it can make you feel actually down even in this moment. Like you're thinking like, oh, I could have been at this stage, I could have been at that stage if I just like maybe locked in a bit more. So I will say that if I don't purposely tell myself or purposely remind myself where I was at, I could feel just normal. Like honestly, I don't even feel anything. But in reality, and when I really think about it, alhamdulillah, I'm very happy. And wallahi, speaking Arabic, Fusha, it's made me actually hate Ammiya, guys. Yeah, I'm a hater of Ammiya. Uh, some of you might cry, but it's okay. I don't care. But yeah, I tell my family that as well. They don't like it, but it is what it is, man. So alhamdulillah, fadlillah, I do feel very well. I used to really wish for this, subhanAllah. So whenever I remember that, it does make me very happy, alhamdulillah, that I've gotten to this point and I'm able to actually learn the deen now, which was the original purpose of even learning Fusha. Because, by the way, guys, nobody even talks in Fusha normally. It's Amiya. So there's really no other reason to learn it. It's not even like, an ego thing to learn Fusha because they make fun of it. So it's literally just for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And it was beautiful seeing other brothers like that. So alhamdulillah. Uh, and I believe that's enough. I kind of went over time. Sorry, guys, but it is what it is. سبحانك اللهم وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب